Well, I just recently learned how to speak English. You know, when I had my first press conference for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I think that was like 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, I didn't speak English. And I was sitting in front of a huge crowd of people, all those reporters from all over the world, and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. And I couldn't express myself, and I felt like I was a monkey on the zoo. And it was just a nightmare. So I decided that day that I need to find a way to make this language mine. So I did. I started to watch movies without reading subtitles. I was watching BBC and different TV shows and just reading books in English and newspapers. So I kind of started on my own to make it mine. And then I was in LA in August a year ago, and I met Robert Downey Jr. and Susan Downey and the Warner Brothers people. And everything happened so fast. You know, I didn't expect anything. And I went, when I went to the meeting with the Warner Brothers people, we talked a little bit about Sherlock Holmes, but not so much. It was kind of a general meeting, and they've seen my work, and it was, fun. And then Susan wanted to see me, and I went over to her office, and then Robert showed up, and I was like, oh God. And he was just the sweetest guy. and we had a very short, intense meeting, very creative, very fun. And, we talked about movies and what kind of movies we want to do. And he was just asking me a bunch of questions. And then I went out from that meeting, and I was just kind of smiling, and I called my manager up and was like, oh my God, I would so much like to work with these people. And then a couple of weeks later, they wanted me to go to London and meet Guy Ritchie, and I did. And then they wanted me to do this movie. So everything happened super fast. And I only had like 3 weeks to prep. And I'm used to prep a lot. I'm used to, when I did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I was prepping for 7 months. I was, really kind of doing a lot of things. But now it was so, I just kind of dived into it. And I was working like really long days and nights, trying to find this person and to kind of transform myself into her. And I was working with a dialect coach. And instead of doing a French accent, which we thought from the beginning that we should do, we decided after the first day actually to do a more kind of clean accent, European accent, but it's kind of staying from East Europe, and use the Romani language, the old Gypsy language, and add lines and words from that language into Simsa's, and the way she spoke. So we felt it was so, everything happened so smooth, and it was just Robert and Guy and Jude and the producers just kind of embraced me and took me in and gave me a lot of freedom. And that was just incredible. And I forgot that I was nervous. It was so much fun. It's probably the most fun journey I've ever been on. I was laughing every day. And they have, they all have such a, such a crazy, brutal humor. And I kind of felt like I became one of the boys. We were only in London. They built all those sets in London. So I was in London for, I think it was like 7 months for Sherlock. And then I went straight into Prometheus. So I was in London for a year. So everything happened in London, actually.